We're going to wrap up our unit on search by taking a look at a couple of other types of search that you can do. Uh, I'll remind you that when you are logged in, you can look at the grid, and there are different things that you can, of course, do here. And you'll see there are even more, and this is under my personal Google account because our school account doesn't always support everything that we're going to show you in this one. But I'll go to even more tools, and the tools will show up here, and you'll see that there are a bunch of them here. So let me show you one called Trends. So if I click on Trends, it loads in, and I could type in something that I want to see a trend about, say an earthquake. So if I look under earthquake, what comes up is something interesting in terms of the way it does search, in that it will give me the number of searches that were taking place over time. And so you can see by regional interest and then related searches of different types of things. And some of these, like here's the Japan earthquake and tsunami, and here's Virginia earthquake, and here's one on an Indonesia earthquake. And so when these things happen, they tend to get searched more. You can add a term, and so let's talk about the tsunami. That was also an interesting, brings up an interesting phenomena. So one thing that you'll see is that tsunami are also searched a lot, and they're overlaid. And notice, like right in here, this is where the Japan earthquake took place. You notice that in red you see the tsunami, and in blue you see the earthquake and how they overlap with one another. And so when you have certain terms like this that can go together, it can present an interesting way for you to do your searches. So that's one type of search that you can do. Now I'll go back to Google, to my start page, and I wanted to talk about something called Fusion Tables. Now, right now, I don't think you'll find it on the Even More page, but you can go down to tables.googlelabs.com, and you can look and do searches for Fusion Tables. Okay, and so you can import tables, and you can do some work with this, which is kind of an interesting experience in and of itself. But I'm going to go back to Google, and I'm just going to do a search on tables. Let's check that and do Google Tables. And so the place that I really want to go is this Google Tables, research at Google. And so when I go here and I click on Fusion Tables, I can put in, and you'll notice it says experimental, I can put in something like temperature. And it will list places that have temperature data that I can pull offline. And you'll see it says 3 rows, 7 columns total. 103 rows, 9 columns total. So this is the National Climate Statistics. And so if you're looking for data, meaningful real data out online that you want students to use, this can be an interesting way to get access to that data. Okay, now remember that it's experimental, and so it can go away or it can get improved and added in. But this is just another way to do search, and it's data search. If I go back to my to that Google page, and I go back and go to more and even more, what you'll find is that there are other tools that you can use in here, and one of the ones that I'll mention that if you're in a grad course is Google Scholar, and that will allow you to search for scholarly papers. It will also bring up bibliographies so that it can be really helpful, but in some ways it can be overwhelming with all of the research that's out there. But Google Scholar is definitely a help for students that are working on research. The last one that we're going to talk about are bookmarks. Now, bookmarks, the reason I did it here in my personal account is because our school district actually blocks the bookmarks. But you can drag bookmarks down in here, and you can save them so that it's easy to search. And remember, we talked about custom searches, and so this will be a great place to put a bookmark in so that you can do it. And all you have to do is drag this bookmarklet to the bookmarks bar of your browser. And so you can drag this up, and then you'll see it makes up a little plus sign, and then when you let it go, that will allow you to go to a page and bookmark it right to Google. So that's another great tool to use while searching.